Hello, good evening everyone. How are you? I just found a box of stuff that Steve put up today for me into stock, but I haven't unpacked it yet. How are you all? Come in, pull up a pew, welcome, good evening. Hope you had a great day, all of that stuff. Who's in first? Sylvia's here. Good evening. Hello Yvonne and Sue, Jackie, Deb. Deb, we were talking about you last show. Mug, Yvonne, Dell's here with Heather, Denise, Jimmy, mate, how are you? Joe, I owe you an email. Oh my goodness, you naughty girl. I will send you one first thing in the morning. Bernadette, good evening. I did your order for you today with a lot of other ones. Lynn, hi. Deb, Nancy, Jen, welcome. Hi Sue, Francis, Louise, and Chris. Chris, I did yours today too. Get this thing off. So we better just look what's in here. I think he tagged some of it for tonight's show. Oh, I've got myself in. I can't get out. Oh, there we go. Just while everyone's getting here. Oh, okay. Super Barbs spoke to the man himself, Bob, this week. These are back. Let me just show you what's... Oh, that's the wrong camera. So, just so you know, Steve's put these back up today. So, the soft collection of Super Bobs of the beautiful masterpiece. So, you've got 25 colours, all in the one box. These are hand sewing, like your Athenas, okay? So, more Confinas, more than confetti. But this is an investment. They're 55. It's an investment, and it's a wonderful investment because then you've got every colour that you may need. Well, there's two different ones. There's a bright one and a one. So they're back. Oh, a whole heap of bottom line. So I think now officially every bottom line is in stock. So I have to restock. I have the enviable task of restocking the rack. So that's champagne. Who did I miss? Who did I miss? Jeanette, good evening. Oh, Bernadette, it's a pleasure, an absolute pleasure. Some of you would have got notifications. They were at the post office quite late today, but they're all there. Gidget, welcome to Chandler's Cottage. Thank you for joining us this evening. Angela, good evening. Getting a bit chilly up your way, I am sure. And is it a good festival this year? Is it a good autumn festival in Bright? I need to know. Karen, it was lovely speaking with you. Leslie, good evening. Oh, sorry. Good morning. My bad. From a not so sunny Cornwall. Aww. We're going this year, but I'm not going to get to Cornwall. It's not going to happen. We're up the other end. Yvonne, good evening. I did your orders as well because you are back in the building. Pam, good evening to you. Oh, Pam, I've got an avatar. I've got a new avatar, little emoji symbol, and everyone I send it to laughs their head off. So I need to get it to you. Barbara, good evening, and Pauline Heiss. What's this one? What we got? Ivory. Oh, a bit boring, but see, these are the colours that we use the most. So we were out of a lot. Did I buy two ivory? No, this is different. This is off-white. Oh. Do you want to see? I need to show you the difference. So ivory and off-white. Can you see the difference in those? Okay, so this is the ivory on here, just a little bit more yellow, and that's true off-white. So I'll get these all packed away tomorrow, but they're all up. Morning, sweetie Jen. Morning. Now I'm making out Jenny Miller's in the UK. Good evening, Jenny. How are you? So this is cream. Okay, so you've got three. Well, this is good. I can line them all up for you. Here we go. Ta-da. So they're all very subtle differences. I don't know, you probably only need one. Oh, what are you? Oatmeal. Now this is surprisingly, well not surprisingly, a really popular colour because it goes from, you can use this with browns right through to olive greens. So oatmeal's, we go through a lot of oatmeal here and not just for breakfast. Oh, hello. We were out of Periwinkle. Oh, yes, because we had a periwinkle show, and the periwinkle's being bought a lot to go with periwinkle fans. This is taupe. So if I sit that next to oatmeal, they are very similar. Taupe's just a little bit greener in a weird kind of way. Yeah, me too, Jen. I wish I was in the UK. Jeanette, good evening from Kalgoorlie. Oh. All right, so what I need is for... I'm just trying to have a look here. Leslie, you need to go and Google where Kalgoorlie is, please. There we go. What's this one? Natural white. Well, see, these are boring colours, but they're the ones that we rely on, and they go with heaps of things. So if you haven't used bottom line before, there's the grey. This is what we use in our bobbins we were talking about the other day. With anything that is not a natural thread, I would love you to use this, because that's the dark, as your dark navy, because it works much better with synthetic thread. So I use this with all my machine embroidery, and this is silver, so you can see it's the palest of white greys. I use these. That's the most uninspirational colours to show you. However, they're the ones that we use the most, and therefore we had to restock. But we use these with machine embroidery threads and also our metallics. And my Beninas, and I know a lot of machines, they just sing when you put this in, because they've got that beautiful, smooth, super strong, fine finish to them, and they will slip and slide and give you the best tension with metallics and embroidery. That's a bit boring, isn't it? So let me put these away. I have not tagged these under tonight's show, but if you put the two words bottom line in the search window, they will all come up. And I don't want to use the term bazillion, but there is a lot of colours in bottom line. So, and if you do buy machine embroidery thread or in metallics, and you would like me to check for you which is the best colour for bottom line, you just ask me in the comments or send me an email, and I will sort that out for you. Okay, so, oh, Julie. Good evening, Lisa. Love the scarf. Bought one at Melbourne Botanic Gardens a few years ago. Oh, really? So, and it was before I discovered the fabric. Well, there you go. Julie, I haven't got them anymore. They're all sold out, which is a bit sad. I think Maria might still have a couple left in Spain. I'll find out this year that she takes to the shows, but they'll probably be gone soon. But we'll have to go back and do something else gifty, weary, I think, this year or next year. It's time. It's time for more giftware. Which reminds me, I did put out the warning. I haven't tagged tonight, but if you put the word scarf into the window, I am packing off most of our Under the Australian Sun ones to go off to the UK on the pallet. The pallet's booked to go Monday week, so I am putting in pretty much all that's left. It's going off to Birmingham Festival of Quilts, and then to Spain for the Madrid show. Bit scary, just a little bit scary. So but yeah, everything is happening, and I'm going to apologise in advance. Yvonne, you're most welcome. Oh, you got COVID from New Zealand. So you got New Zealand COVID. That's a bit sad. You got all your vaxxers, you'll be over it soon. I promise it won't last. Gidget, I don't know. But if you put the word scarf into the search window on Chandler's Cottage after the show, it will be there. Unless Rob wants to look it up for me now. I'm not sure if he's listening or not. I can't remember what's on there at the moment. Evening, Kath. Okay, so we all need to redo the scarves. Right. Should just teach you how to do your own, really. I'll probably get some printed. But we can print them here. But they just won't be the same price as how I printed them last time. Anyway, so this evening we're going to do two things. The main thing is it's calendar club night. So for those that have your 2023 calendar, 2022 calendar, because I'm working on the next one. For May, we have, you see in the picture there, we have got a peanut. We've got a relaxation pillow, which is this one. Now, this one, for display purposes, is like a turkey, stuffed, with, what's it called? This stuff. Polyfill. It's just filled with this. Because I needed one to stay perky and firm for display purposes. However, if I was when I do make another one for myself, I'll be putting wheat in mine, like a wheat bag, because this warmed up on a tight neck after sewing all day in the back here is magic. Really, really good. The other thing too, if you have done yoga or you've thought about doing yoga and bought the little squishy relaxation balls that when you do yin yoga you pop underneath your hip and it's excruciating and you keep telling yourself you're going to ease into the pain, center on your breathing, all that stuff. I'm going to make one for myself. I'm actually going to put my two little squishy balls, pressure balls that I love behind the back of my neck, into this so that I've got one at each end. So I'll do another one with those. So they're actually set in there. Because I've lost the little netting bag that they came in. You're supposed to stretch, but I'm going to put them in here and then it will go at the back of my neck and it will be that right on those bits there that my chiropractor tells me off for when I get there. So that's what we're going to make. And I think I mentioned once that I gave one to the beautician that I used to go to when I had time and the inkling and the dosh to go to a beautician. And I gave one to her and then she got me to make 10 for the salon, which I did. So they're a really fun present, so I thought they might be a nice thing to do for Mother's Day. Also really good if you've got someone that gets sore ankles or foot swelling. These are really nice just to pop up on the top of a chair or something rather than a regular cushion at night time to ease that pressure off for blood circulation and things. These are really lovely for that also. So we're going to do that, and then we're going to just do the next quick step in our Look at Me bags, because as I said, we'll do those, come back to those with full grunt next week. All of the orders that have gone out that have got the limited edition one in the brown and pink, and as I mentioned, for some of you, you'll be waiting for your stitchery kit from Margaret. She's assured me they are all on the way. Oh, no, that's way too expensive for tonight. No. Sorry, Rob's here. Can you please make those 1950 to me? No, 16. Last ditch effort. 16. Should have seen that. Look, and yes, can you please tag them with moving? Thank you. There you go, scarves. So 25 down to 16. But then they've got to go. That's wholesale price. All right. Then they're going on the palette. Completely, it's just throwing me now. Oh, then we're going to do, yes, so, sorry. We're going to do the Look at Me bag. We're going to do the back pocket, and just with the double zip thing. We'll come back with Force and do that next week. All the orders have gone out that had the pink brown one. And then some of you are waiting for your embroidery kit for those. And you've got a little note in there, except for Barb Clifford, I forgot to put it in. I will email her. So you'll be waiting for those, and Mark's getting those to me as quick as possible, and they'll come separately. But as I said, you can get the rest of your pockets and your lining and everything ready to go, and then you'll be able to sit and do your stitchery, and then clock it straight in, and you'll be finished. So they're on their way. If your order hasn't left yet, it's because I just had a volume of them today that Steve and I had to do, and also I'll be doing the black and gold limited edition ones on tomorrow or Monday, and then they will go out, and then we'll come back later next week and do the applique, the gum leaf applique with those, and get those done too. So there's lots going on. I've got other stuff for next week, but that's what's happening. What I miss, who's this? Deb says, I did yoga once at high school. Unfortunately, I made... yes, well, that is one of the problems going, but you know what, you can sort of get used to it, don't you? Because everything relaxes when you do yoga, which is why I do mine at home with a YouTube channel. I just watch I've got 2 people I watch sessions on YouTube on my television, and I love it. Donna, good morning to you. Thank you for joining us from the UK. Hello, Lynn and Valerie and Anne. Karen, good evening to you. Sharon Keys. See, Sharon's grandson loves his pillow. That's so good. Thank you, Gidget. Fiona, hello. Thank you for joining us. And Nancy, yes, scarves are up. Done. All right, so we're going to do those two things tonight. As I mentioned, this is in the calendar, but if you didn't get the calendar this year, you don't need to fret because Steve has popped up today. It has a digital download pattern. So if you haven't got the calendar and you would like to purchase the pattern, you can download it and you can get started straight away. I want to get one cut fussy cut style, and then as I mentioned, I just want to talk about how you can do a scrappy one as well, a little bit differently. So I've got here a piece of Under the Australian Sun stripes. Now I did a little bit of housekeeping on the banner because we've been running quite a few things continuously till they've sold out, and if you can't see the banner on your phone or your device, you pop the word moving, because Chandler's Cottage is moving to the country, you pop the word moving into the search window at the top and it'll bring up everything that we're going to talk about tonight, but then also what we've had up in the last couple of weeks. I'm kind of over cutting the half price Hoffman boutiques. May I just say that out loud? I really am. So Sunday night will be the cut-off for those, and whatever's left I'm going to pack them off as remnants packs. So if you want to get in there and see what's left, there's some beautiful ones still there. If you'd like to buy them by the half metre when they're half price, please grab them, because then they're going to get bundled up and they'll be sold in that end of bulk yardage they're actually in. Excuse me, as one whole piece. No, there's no brandy in the dry. So I'm going to use this, but also I have left up that little special we had on the Under the Australian Sun stripes because I'm using this one tonight. I was going to give you the name of the boat that the fabric's on, but it's been confirmed again today. Two things: the boat will dock on the 18th of May that's got the new large Waratahs on it, and also a restock on some flowering gums. We're doing this for our soiree folks that are coming to join us at Garfield, and I hope you'll be the first ones to get it. But for me it's very exciting because it's being delivered to the new Chandler's Cottage in the country, not to here. So it will be the first fabric that we cut. It may not be in a completed shed, but I will be cutting it maybe in the lounge room. But it will be the first fabric that we cut at Chandler's Cottage, which will be really kind of, to us, really cool and in a cheesy kind of way. So, but you can get your pre-orders in still for this, and I'll go through a few other bits here in a minute. Let's get started with this because I need to give it a little bit of an iron as well. So I thought I would fussy cut from our stripes tonight. So just to see how it all comes together, because I'm hoping, because I've still got this on special for you, I thought it'd be really cool to see how it comes up, because you can get a little bit of a centered stripe or centered section of the border, I hope, with different flowers on it. So the little peanut cushion has 4 panels for it, and then I've got little Suffolk puffs on each end. So I'll take you through the basics, and then I'll take you through the basics of the way I do Suffolk puffs, because I know, you know, time goes by and we, it's so lovely because we often get new friends joining us for live shows and things. So I will do one of those. Like Adelaide, good evening, welcome. Hello Tracy. Ruthie's here from WA. How are you, buddy? Hello Jeanette, nice to see you. Patricia, welcome. Barbara Hewitson, how are you? Hope you're all well. Did you see, I popped up on Chandler's Cottage Instagram. So if you don't Instagram us, you might like to have a look. There's some funny things going on with Instagram at the moment. You used to be able to share everything across to Facebook, and now it won't always let you do that. But I will get some more little video things up for you. I put up one of our new place this week, just for fun. Oh, I'm doing a little video. I'll be doing a live with Margaret too on the weekend on Facebook. She's doing something to me to do with the soiree, and I don't know what it is, but I don't like her evil grin, and I'm not sure what's going on. But yeah, we had some fun this week. Nick the Sparky was in to work out, you'll see on Instagram, where all the lights are going, where all the PowerPoints are going, where the air conditioner's going, all those scary things, and me hoping that I'm getting things right, because I only really get one crack at it. So Steve and I think we've got it right. So we shall see. Okay, so this is the fabric I want to use, and in your calendar, what else? Oh yes, and then we've got the Chandler's Family Tea Cake with this month. So with this one, we're going to make a template, and it suggests actually using 2 fabrics. So as you can see, I've done that here, but we're going to fussy cut all from the same one. Who said hi, everyone? Tiki's here. Good evening, Tiki. How are you? Right, so we're going to use this one here, and it looks. You'll go, that's not big enough, but it actually is, and it's a weird kind of shape. Sort of looks like a knight in shining armor helmet, but we're going to place it on the fold so that we get the full template. So I'll grab my template plastic. I went and got a shiny new piece because I literally could not find my scraps. That's happening a lot lately. Can't find, oh well, I don't think I would have labelled a box with scraps of template plastic. I actually do think I've been through it all, because we've been doing it a lot lately, and I've been doing lots of little templates for projects for the new advent calendar too for this year, so I've been through a bit. So you don't have to make a whole template. You can just do this piece and then place it in the center of the section you're going to use on your fabric. P for paper scissors, so I'm going to chop a chunk this way. Now, back to things that you can fill these with. Cloves, lots of clothes. Lavender. You know, it doesn't have to just be wheat or polyfill. So you might want to use a few little different aromatics in them, but I think the lavender would be just divine. The other thing, of course, that you can pop in, if you are doing one that will not go in the microwave or get heated up, and it's going to get used as a neck pillow, you might want to put a couple of those little anti-moisture humectant sachets in that you get in your shoe boxes and things, just to keep everything nice and dry inside. I didn't want to say in case your neck gets sweaty, because that's a bit blick, but that's kind of what I'm saying. Right, so we've got this bit cut out, and let's have a look. So, oh, look at this. See, we can easily fit this anywhere. I could go that way. No, Lisa. No. So, if I go this way, I'm going to get, if I set it right here, I'm going to draw on with my Sharpie so that you can see it. And this will include my seam allowance. So you can make a choice with this. You can decide if you want it bigger, add another 1/4 inch around the outside. But if you're happy with this, then you can just use this, and it'll be 1/4 inch smaller when we're finished. Pop that there. There we go. So that's one panel across. I hope you can see it, but I've got that drawn on. Now this is eaten into the gold here, so I'm going to jump across to the next one. I'm not worried about the bits in the middle. I will find a use for those, so that'll all be fine. Judy Bond, how are you? Everybody, Judy is going on a pallet. What can I say? Is there any other way to say it? Judy's, well, not Judy, but Judy has got something going on a pallet. So, because she's coming to Festival of Quilts, and I thought if you popped up tonight, I would tell anyone that's coming to Festival of Quilts, they place an order, just let me know. I've got a little spot in the middle of the pallet, so we put all our boxes sort of go. It's a bit log cabin. Is it churn dash? Something like that. There's 2 two, two and two, and they all interlock together. And then we end up with a little hole in the middle. So in that hole, there are a few precious things that will go into that hole that don't fit in our normal standard box configuration. And one of them is a mail order for Judy. So she's going to come and pick it up at Festival of Quilts. So if you know for sure you are going and you would like to order, then look, I've got about this much space for you if you want to order something, and you just order it and then I'll refund your postage and you can come and pick it up from Margaret and I at Festival. So, because Judy asked, and you can only ask, and I said, why not? That's fine. Okay, so this one will go up here. One thing that has to go in the palette are Ugg boots for my friend Vivian at Purple Stitches, because Ugg boots are a lot more expensive, as you would imagine, in the UK. And her boys both are ice skaters, figure skaters. She spends a lot of time at ice rinks, and so she needs Ugg boots. So that's what I'm taking for her as a present. Right, so I've got 3. I need 1 more. So what have I got down this end? Oh, see, I haven't got the bottle brush, so this is really good. We've alternated, and I'll be able to use this one up here. So this is just going to give us a really pretty effect. And as I said, I'm just going to sew a couple of these together to show you how it all works, and then you'll be away and you'll be able to do your own. Turn this way. Yes, so this weekend Margaret said, I'm going to make you do something. It's going to be, it'll be embroidery, won't it? It will be. I know it. But I love Margaret's stuff because she does so much. It's all pre-printed. So you just have to sit down and get the thread out and start. So those coming to the soiree will know that. They'll sit down. There'll be a project from Margaret and they'll look at Karen and mine and go, that requires a little bit more thought, and I haven't had cake yet. So I'm going to save Lisa and Karen's until after I've had my sugar fix. And they do start with Margaret's first because it's just so much fun and so easy to do. Hey, we haven't got long. We've only got just, what, 2.5, 3 weeks till the soiree. Not long at all. Let me see with that one there. Yeah. I'll just cut a couple of these out. So the main thing about making these cushions as well is how sturdy you want them to be. So I'm just doing these with my fabric tonight. But if you think they're going to see a lot of action, and depending what weight the filling is that you're going to put into them, I would recommend reinforcing the back with anything from an adhesive interfacing, some weft would be fine, maybe 630 Palin, that would be fine as well. If you are happy to quilt, then instead of cutting the shapes down first as well, just cut a generous rectangle that you're going to cut the shape from later. Pop on your scrap bits of wool batting onto the back and have a lot of fun practicing your free motion quilting or your grid work, and then come back and lay the template over the top and cut it down to size, because you will get a fair bit of shrinkage, of course, with your quilting, and that's going to give you a beautiful textured pillow. So you know, if you're giving it to someone and you're really not sure of their colour preference, if you've just got some lovely cream on cream, you know, a pretty little tonal pattern or something, I would get stuck into some quilting and just give them a lovely cream one with a little bit of, just a lovely cream one with some quilting on it would be gorgeous. If you've got a machine embroidery machine, or machine embroidery on your sewing machine, and you do machine embroidery and you've got all of your letters and things, You could get a little bit, you could have a little fun, couldn't you? And you could, you know, have the word relax and calm and chill on each of the panels on a plain fabric, just for a bit of fun. You could quilt that in as well, I suppose. I was only doing 2 of these, wasn't I? But we'll do them so that we can see what they're going to look like. Now, yes, we've got a lot of stuff left over in between. And don't even get me started, because there's so many things we could do with it, from English paper piecing, strip sewing, small projects, purses, glasses, cases, all of that stuff that we do. If you do have your calendar, and we do end up with all these little bits that are left over, have a look back through your projects as you go during the year. So if you did something like this, if you've got your kits, then you'll make up your green one first. But then if you do something like this and you use all these up and you've got all your leftovers, you'll go through and look at all your other patterns, but don't forget to go through your leftover patterns as well, or all of the patterns in the calendar, because little things like the little pin cushion that we did at the start in January would be great to use. So there'll be other projects that you can come back and use it for. I mean, you might even want to make one of the little habby keepers like we did, the little babushka habby keepers with your leftovers, to have a little pretty green and teal one. Or if you've got leftovers from your gum leaves, which you will, and the gum flowers for the kit one, well then you could go back and make yourself a little cute bushland Aussie crazy pin cushion as well. This seemed like a good idea at the time. Hang on, I'm nearly there. And then we can pop the leftovers out of the way. Right. There we go. Let's have a look at what they look like. Oh, sorry, we were already there. So I think they'll look really, really cute. So we'll pin a couple together, and we'll just do one seam on the machine. What you have to watch is, sorry, who got here when I wasn't looking? Good evening. Who have I got? Gail, hi. Glenda, good evening. Joanne, how are you? Lovely to see you. Michelle, how are you? Are you good? It's lovely that you're here as well. Carmel and Jenny and Hillary, welcome. Welcome, welcome. These are curvy, all right? So I want you to be careful. Please do pin or wonder clip, but pin. And on the pattern, whether you've got the calendar one or this one, I'm sure it tells you, fold them over and find your center. Now it sounds like we're back to the yoga. Find your center. Because it's all curves, so you've just got to be careful that you match them up. You can see that these are sort of, well, these are lighter and softer because of the flowers. These are more predominant flowers, so I'm going to alternate them when I put this together. Let me just mark this one here. Fiona Woods, well, 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 how are you this evening? It's been so long, Fiona. Carol, hi, how are you too? Sorry, I'm picking on Fiona. We don't talk often, but when we do, it's a good one. I've got, I've got my number. So this is a 790 Bernina. It's a big one. And it's one of the dual feed machines, and it's a smart machine. So do you remember last time we were working with the zip foot on? So I've turned it on, it's gone, no, you may not do a 1/4 inch seam because you've got a zip foot on, but I've actually taken it off. So we'll put the dual feed on this one. Oh my goodness, the amount of people that emailed me and said, yes, yes, we need to do a Bernina course, please. So we will do that. We will, introduction to using your Bernina. Then we'll do learn to use your Bernina. Then we'll do Learn to Love Your Bernina, and then we'll learn to show off with our Bernina. And we will split it down the middle. So we'll do one for machines that are 5.5 mil, which is a 720, a 735, a 440, a 475, 5 mil plate, and then I'll do one for the 9 mil plates. So that's 570s, 590s, 750s. Sorry, Deb, that's why we were talking about the other day. 750s, 770s, and 790s. So I will do that. I'm not a dealer anymore, but I love my machines, and I probably use them and know and have learnt more about them since I haven't been a dealer, because I've had a little bit more time on them. So we'll do that. All right, we're going to pop over. Jenny Wren. Aww. Oh, pressure's on. Thanks, Jen. I have one, and it's so good on your back. Yes, Tiki, they are. Hey, you know the other place you put it? Like we're talking about putting them behind your neck. And you, how many of us have been to the physio or the myotherapist or the podiatrist, the chiropractor, and they've told us to put the rolled up towel from here up? I find that this is even just enough when I'm sitting watching television, just to lay my shoulders out across at the back. And the other thing I was thinking about too, when we talk about posture, when you've been sitting at your machine for a long time, and we used to talk about this in the class, when you've been sitting sewing, you've got to stand yourself up, you put your arms out, put your palms up, and then drop your shoulders, and it will open your whole chest out and your shoulder blades, all of this out again. Stick your chest out. But this is really important, and you'll be amazed the difference. Mine hurts now. I can feel it on my back because of what I've been doing today. But you do that, and all of a sudden, all of your chest cavity opens up, because this gets really tight and sore in here. So just whenever, stand in the kitchen, do the hand thing, and you'll feel it. Shall we go across to the machine? I've got brown in there from our Look at Me bag, but that won't deter me. So I've just got one pin in the middle. As I said, you really do need to pin at least that middle bit. So I'll just pop a couple in. So this is just raw, okay? You're going to have a thin palin, some scrap batting, or some interfacing on the back, because this alone really isn't going to be enough. To get a really nice perky looking pillow. Val Lewis, good evening to you. Hello, Linda. I'm a bit obsessed with saying hello to everyone, aren't I? Sorry. Marie, welcome, good evening. Christine is here too. Joe, do you know Tiki? I love Tiki. Everyone should know Tiki. She lives in a very cool place. Okay. Alright. So, sewing machine pedal is upside down, and we need to head over here. I got my new driving glasses too, by the way, and they look like they're a bit executive for me, but they're pretty good. And I've got the anti-glare, stuff on them, so when I'm driving at night time, the glare of the cars coming towards me doesn't sort of shine and diffuse my sight. And I thought I really need them for my up-close machine sewing glasses as well, because the lights on the Berninas are so bright sometimes. Well, they're so bright that if you have, I thought I really need to have glasses, because sometimes my eyes, I think, just get a little bit sore because the LEDs in the machines are so bright. And then I remembered you can turn them down. So it was a bit silly, but just a quick tip: if you go into settings, if you've got a Bernina, and you go into the little, this would be for the 5s and the 7s, and you go into the little sewing machine, there's a little light bulb, and you can watch this. See that? I can turn them all the way up, and I can turn them all the way down. And I actually turn them down when I'm with you, because otherwise the cameras, it's so glary you can't see anything. So I actually have to turn them down so you can see better. But just keep that in mind. Oh, first time on for the night. Okay, off we go. So I'll just do a quick 1/4 inch seam on this now. If you are going to pad the back of yours and you don't have dual feet, then please remember to use a walking foot. And because all of the sides are the same, it's not going to matter. We're not piecing a block. So if you need to just line up the edge of your walking foot, just do the same for each one. You're still going to get the same even result. So if it's not a perfect 1/4 inch with your walking foot, as long as every side is the same, it will be fine. I did not pin that very well. I need to come across a bit. Right. This is one of the simplest months that we're doing, really. It is. And I love that because it means that I know you'll be able to have a really good play around with it and make it your own and try out little different techniques. Like I said, embroidery, that would be the iron. Embroidery, applique. So I'll just, because this seam was on the curve, we'll just set this seam so it's nice and flat. Now, my bestie Emma would now come through and redo that seam with the pinking shears, just so that this curve comes in a little bit, just a little bit smoother when we turn it through. But you can see there is the makings of two sides of your pillow. So I just want to do that so that you can see, like that. I'll hold that over there and you can see what's going to happen. So you'll do 2 pairs together, and then once you've got those 2 pairs together, so you're going to have 2 of these, you'll open them up, if you can imagine. You've got another one on this side, right sides together, and you'll actually be able to sew right round the whole thing and back up. Obviously you're going to need to leave yourself a little gap somewhere that you can. Oh, come on. I'm not that good. Where is it? Oh, it's there. Where you can come back and slip stitch little opening close once you've given it a good stuff. Leave it up to you. You might even want to do it down towards one end. I'll leave that up to you, whichever area that you want to leave open. I've probably told you to do somewhere in the middle. Or, oh no, actually do it up here on an edge, because if that's where your head's going to go all the time, that's going to get the most pressure on it. And then you're going to stuff it to within an inch of its life and get it really nice and perky, or fill it with all of your wheat. If you are wondering where you can get wheat from, you can buy it online, but you just need to find yourself on the outskirts of Melbourne or somewhere, or outside outskirts of the city, a grain and feed store, because it is just wheat that I use in mine. So I picked up wheat the other day and it was $1.90 a kilo. So it's not going to break the bank. And my girls have eaten most of it already, so I need to get some more to put in. But, so you're going to do 2 pairs, you're going to sew right round. So, really easy, super easy. I know Sharon will agree with me. Linda says, went to Melbourne today, took an hour and 15 minutes from the Royal Women's Hospital just on the bridge of Hume. You were on the Hume. It's not a Hume freeway, it's a car park. We call it the car park. Oh, goodness me, on the freeway. That is a long ride, Linda. And it does happen. It does happen. If you use your Apple phone, your maps now, if you've seen on that app, if you're driving along with it, it will often say to you, we've just found a quicker route, do you want to take it? And I always do. You should just never know what's going to happen. Sometimes it only saves me 2 minutes, but it's, yes, you've got to always find the quickest way, don't you, sometimes? But I hope you had your sewing in the car with you. So, you've got that. Now let's just have a chat about what else we could do, because, as I said, if you want to do a whole heap of quilting first and then cut them down into the shape, that's going to work really well. And then the other thing, you know how we were talking about keeping all our little scrap bits of Pellon and everything when we were doing our pockets the other day. Pop that up there. The other thing is, if you've got a scrap bit of batting or Pellon that is going to fit, so I can see here that that's going to fit on there, then you can do a little bit of fun foundation piecing. With this, the way that I'm going to do it, comes a need for a little bit of respect for our irons, because I'm going to be foundation piecing, if I do this, onto the sticky side of my adhesive polyester batting Pellon. So just to give you an idea, I'm going to go straight across. I'm not going to cut it to the size, and just zoom down here. Now Mum and Dad were down today, and Mum took home some more remnants to do, and she said, what will happen to these? And I said, I'll be packing them up and taking them to the soiree for the guests. And she said, right, well, I'll take those home and get them done. And that meant that when I went to get scraps tonight to do this, I didn't have much to work with, but I did find a couple of bits. So we've got a little bit of pink, a little bit of shrimp. I've got my peanut ready to sew. Good on you, Karen. I'm pleased. She's got her peanut ready to go. Yeah, a peanut. So I found a little bit of, this is the last bit. I cut someone's order today that's got shrimp batik in it, and there was just this really kind of messy little bit at the end. Quite often it is quite messy at the end. Sometimes it's on the end of a bolt, there's a sewn seam or something, and I just chop that little bit off. Always leave it generous if it's the last bit, but I don't put this in because it's a bit icky. So, but there's enough here for me to play with. So I've got that bit, and we've got a little bit of mint. And then I found a little bit of this, so we'll just chop a bit of this. I think this is pretty straight. I'm gonna, I can hear my voice. I think this is actually original gum leaf that didn't make it in our sell-off, because it doesn't, it looks slightly different, but I'm only cutting a slither off the edge. I'll put the board over there. Alright, so a little bit of freestyle. Take a bit off there. I'll put that down to check later. And this will all be fine, but I'll just chop it down to roughly the width of the bit of Pellon that I've got. Same with this bit. And then we've got this lovely bright pink, and we'll pop a bit of this on as well for fun. Okay, so there's actually a little row of holes along there from, would have been from when they were, I don't know, manufacturing, joining, I'm not quite sure, but you know, I'm a beginner to the batik thing. I'm working on it. So those bits, let's just chop this bit down in half again. And all I'm going to do is foundation piece them onto this, and as I fold them back, we're going to be very, very careful with our iron, and we're going to fold them back, and then they'll actually stick down onto the Pellon as we go. So if you've done foundation piecing before, you know what you're up to, and you haven't, this is a really good way to start out. I could lay down my first bit across here. I could have it going on a diagonal. I could go, if I had longer pieces, I could go straight through. I actually want to go this way, so we've sort of got bits going straight across, and then when we come to join all the panels together, I'm not going to mind if it's a bit, I want to say higgledy-piggledy on the seams. I don't think that will matter at all. So I'm going to pop this first bit here to cover the end, and this is drawn on really just to use as a bit of a guide. Now I'm going to be extra careful, and if I'm worried about getting my iron, if you've got a little clover iron, this is a great time to use it. But if I'm worried, I've got my Teflon ironing mat here to use, my applique mat. So that one's on. Then I'm going to stick this bit over the top. So this is probably about as basic as I think we can get with foundation piecing. But with that in mind, if you've got lots of scraps and you've got a budding seamstress or stitcher in your family that comes on the holidays to stay or have a go, keep all those little scraps, because this would be a really fun thing for them to have a play with. This is as I mentioned, a dual feed machine. So it will handle what I'm about to do without a walking foot. But if you don't have dual feed, have a little bit of a try, and if your tension's not great, just pop that walking foot on. And seam allowance width does not matter with this stuff that we're doing. Again with the brown thread, admittedly, but we'll just run a stitch straight across here. So with these batiks, it doesn't matter if they're which side we use, but technically this is right side down, this pink. Deb, if you're still watching, this is right up Josie's alley, isn't it? Josie is amazing. She can take any little collection of fabric and turn it into a wondrous little trinket or little project. So fold that one back here. Okay, so here's your next opportunity to leave as is or add your own signature to it. Deb has, I promise I'll stop talking about you now, Deb. Deb has, she's one of those that's done that wonderful thing where she's done the stitch book for her machine, all the decorative stitches. If you haven't played with your decorative stitches, that goes for all of my girls, including Josie, including Diane, everyone that's got a machine, Louise, the whole lot. This is where you play down here, and then it's like top stitching down this along here between these, but it's going to add more texture to it as well. But you can see how easy is that, just to pop that down. Let's grab a bit of this one and we'll chop it to the right length. This is also a great project if you can't part with your selvages. So if you love collecting all your little pretty selvages with all the coloured dots and everything, then this is a good time or a good spot to use them as well. Just you can imagine having them all here. I don't know if any of you have seen my banking folder, that banking purse that Emma made. We used to do a lot of banking with checks and things, and she made me a banking folder with all of the salvages from my fabric, because I always used to lose the book in the car or somewhere, and she said, there you go, it's got your name all over it, you can't lose it now. It's very funny. I could go straight, but we can get things going on a little bit of an angle, so I'm going to angle that off a little bit, and you can see there's a lot more of the pink showing through. So we'll just do that again. If you've got lots of little bits of scrap lace and things as well, or ribbons, you can use ribbon for one of your strips through. If you've got lace, you can overlay it over the top of a contrasting fabric for one of these strips. But it is really just complete freestyle. There we go. All right, you know what we have to do, don't you? We've got to get a bit of this going on. Let me just chop a bit. Sit that there. I do need a couple of these to do our little Suffolk puff for each end, but when I do things like this, I've always got that little girl off the advert for Natural Lolly Company going, Daddy, don't chop the dinosaur. I don't know why, but it just, when I'm a bit reckless with my rotary cutter, I've always got that in my head. Okay, let me cut this on a little bit of a wedge. So when I put that on, it will go that way, and I'm starting to spin, so I might go around the other way. So it's kind of calendar night, but it's also scrap night. Yeah, I'll go this way. Oh yeah, I did have it the right way before, and then it will go up like that. Okay. So we'll just sit that there. No pins are being harmed or used in this process, because we just don't need them. Doesn't have to be straight. I just realised I need, I might take one of these on the plane to go to Birmingham because I get a little bit claustrophobic with the classic travel pillow. Sorry, I know your camera's not on, I'll come back. So I might make myself one of these. Sorry, you missed the whole thing. I might make myself one of these. Might be nice just to have on an armrest as well. It's not going to take up much space. Alright, so you get the gist? You just keep going. Just keep going. I put another bit of pink on now. Oh here, let's just put one on and then we'll start cutting it down and seeing sort of how it's all going to look from one end. Let's just run through here. Tracy Fisher, is that you? I just saw your name pop up. You can't hide, buddy. Right. So, just to see, where's that middle? It's there. Let's just cut it down. I can sort of put this down anywhere now, but let's just cut it down and see how we're looking. So I'll come back, or I can come back. Hopefully I'll come back. Let's get to there and we'll let's just fold these back. There you go. How cool is that going to look? If I grab one of these and sit that next to it, here's the other thing too, because remember this one's got the alternating panels, so you could actually alternate here. You could use this one and then have one of these scrappy ones in between. So you have two scrappies and two of these fussy cut. So lots of options for you to play with a very, very simple pattern. There's one other little thing, just one thing I can't resist just mentioning to you. When you do your classic little drawstring bag, so what did we do? We did the pocket sewing caddy so far from the calendar as well. Any little bag where you pop your little sleeves in the top and you've got your drawstring. This shape is gorgeous. So if you want to make a little, almost like a little amulet purse for a little special someone, you can do it with just two of these if you wish. So that is the shape of your purse and you have a little drawstring at the top so it all gathers in. Or you can do four, a little bit like our festive basket, our free download pattern, and there's lots of ones like that, but you can just imagine having four of these. So you're effectively going to have just, forget the top bit, just that bottom half as a beautiful little curved drawstring purse or bag, velvet, crazy patchwork, all of those special things, and then have those little cord sleeves at the top and pull it up with a ribbon and you get a gorgeous little bag out of this panel as well. So please just keep that in mind. Even just these two-sided ones, if you shrink it down a little bit, so use this shape and just take off a 1/4 inch or do it with a 1/2 inch seam allowance instead of a 1/4. These on a Christmas tree, there's a little decoration poured in at the top with a treasure inside are lovely. So just keep that shape in mind, or keep that with all of your bits, with your calendar, or if you do download the pattern and grab that, just keep those extra little things in mind as well that you might be able to use it for. Now on the end of these, we've got Suffolk puffs, and I haven't done the demo for a long time, so I'm getting out Oh, I got out the thimble. Here it is. So we can just make one of these up as well. It's been a long time. On the pattern, you've got 2 circles on the downloader in your calendar. One of them is for your fabric, and one of them is to make a template out of sandpaper. Now I've got 2 bits of sandpaper, and I know that the smaller one is the sandpaper template size, and the larger one I think is pretty close to what we need to cut from the fabric, so I'm going to do that. What, who, what, where? Petra, what did you do? Petra dropped my new heater on my big toe yesterday while getting out of the car. Invented some new words. Oh, well, I probably would have used a few, but I probably would have had some old favourites that I probably would have used. I feel for you. I didn't. But Stephen's big chunk chocks of wood, I need to show them to you one day, that he uses to stabilise and weight down all the fabric when he uses the electric cutter. I picked one up this morning and it slipped out of my hand. I think it missed my foot by ½ an inch. So I'm feeling very guilty, Petra, because you did not survive and I did. So our commiserations to you. Ice that foot up and elevate it on your relaxation pillow, please. So it's better soon. All right, I'm going to use these. So I've always used sandpaper, if you haven't seen me do this a bazillion times before. And if you are watching for the first time, I am pretty full on with the Sharpie pen, really dark ones during the show, but I don't usually do this when I'm sewing. I would use a chalk pen or a pencil. I just do it so that you can see on the camera what I'm doing. So I've laid the template over a nice little patch of pink. But what happens with a Suffolk puff is pretty much whatever I have put in the middle won't be seen because it is literally behind the Suffolk puff. So you just keep that in mind that you're not really going to see it. It's more about what you see sort of about ½ an inch in. So that's done, and this is what we're going to use to shape with. And I'm at Bunnings tomorrow, so I must grab myself some more sandpaper, sorry, as well. Where's the pincushion? Tomorrow I'm going to Bunnings to buy, can you guess? It's not plants. It's not bedding for the chickens. There are sample paint pots happening, for sure. But I'm going to buy turpentine, lime and sugar soap. That is the formula that I have been given by Billy, the floor paint expert, on what we need on the weekend to clean the floor in the shed before we can paint it. So the gentleman owned the shed. Oh, is it Rhonda? And chainsaw, oh yes. Robbie, can you check the sound at our end and make sure it's, why am I yelling at him down the hallway? Check the sound. We can always change cameras if it's not that great. So, yes, we have to clean the floor. So the gentleman before was a mechanic, so you can imagine there's a lot to come off the floor. So we have to get very techie on extracting oil from the floor. So I just saw Liz's question. What's the purpose of the sandpaper? Okay. Number what? 2? I don't think it is 2 though. 3. It's 3. So I have to turn it off. There we go. No, I can't turn that one. We'll try that one and see how that goes. That might be better. Alright, so the purpose of the sandpaper is that sandpaper is essentially like fine glass. So it's superheat, so you get a really good permanent press with it. You going? Yeah, I was going to say he needs to walk away to see what it's like. And the other thing too is it grips. So when you lay it down, I'll show you in the middle of your circle to your Suffolk puff, it holds on. So you know, like when we go sandpaper boards, and if you don't have a sandpaper board, you've got to get one. And it's just a square of plywood or something, and you glue down or double-sided tape down a piece of sandpaper, and then whenever you're fussy cutting out with templates, you can pop your fabric down on it, and it doesn't move. So when you're pushing down with your pen or your pencil or whatever around the edge of your template, the fabric doesn't move underneath the template. A little bit like we have our grippy bits on our Creative Grid rulers so they don't slip and slide. So that's why I love the sandpaper. And once you start using it, it's great for pre-shaping. So as opposed to a plastic one that's going to melt under a hot iron. So that's why we use it. GDV, good evening. Oh, who's this guy Robert Chandler watching? I don't know. All right, so move the... So what I'm actually doing, and when you get your pattern, it's in the instructions. Way back in Craft and Quilt, there was a pre-shaping and curves show that is obviously now a couple of years old and needs redoing. But what we do in that as well, we do a little running stitch, just an 1/8 of an inch in around the edge. You don't want it to be a full quarter, it's got to be right out on the edge. And you do want, you don't want a really weak thread. So your machine thread's going to be best for this because it will get on the second round a fair bit of pressure put on it. This is a funky colour. I love this. This is confetti in 607. Now Rob has constructed for us the new confetti stand, but Steve, alas, has not had time to put all of them up, and I think there's another 60 colours, so he's going to do that for us on Sunday, and then I'll be back with it next week. So we apologise for that, but Steve had to pop down to the new place today and pick up the trailer and do a few things down there, so he will get those done on his next day off from his other job, so that'll be Sunday. So we've got that right round the edge. So now what we're going to do is place that template, the smaller one, the smaller circle in the middle, and then we can use our thread to pull that up. So it pulls it up really nice and tight. I'll just leave that bit on there at the moment. And so if you've cut your circle pretty perfect and you use this technique and it's all up on the back, there's your perfect circle. So you no needle turn, none of that, it's done. So now we get our board, and we'll want to put on a bit of steam, or if you've got a water bottle, but you really want it to get a good steam press, so you've got a permanent edge on there. So pull that up nice and tight, hold it, and we'll hit it with the iron. Now these, I don't have any of these little irons in at the moment, but if you do want one, please let me know, because I'm going to place an order next week, and I'm going to get a couple more in. So just email me if you are interested. So then we can pull out our sandpaper, and then just grab that thread again that we've left on and give it a little pull, just so it's all nice back in shape. I'm going to pop it back down on the board and give it another press. If you've got some starch and you want to use it as well, you can, just to get it really nice and flat. So you can imagine if you use this technique as well, if you're doing Dresdens, you can just use it for the top curve of your Dresden wedges also. If you're doing Drunkard's Path, pie quilts, anything like that, it's a really, really quick, easy technique. Now you can take off that extra thread now, and we're going to come back with a fresh needle and thread. You can't, unfortunately, you cannot run with the same one. That thread was just too short, but you can't continue. You need to finish off and start with a fresh needle and thread. Otherwise, as we start to gather up on this next step, it'll pull in that one that we've just done, and you're going to end up in a terrible mess. So, oh look, I've got my authoritative teaching voice on now. I'm practicing for Shepherd and So what we do is now is turn it over to the other side and pop our needle up underneath that fold, and that way well, our knot is hidden underneath. Then you're going to run a little running stitch around the edge, but please don't make your pleats, the gaps between the up and down, your stitches, too small. If it's too small, you won't get a nice tight pleat up. So you can see I'm pulling it as I go. This time we don't need it flat, so we're going to run right around here. Now you can make these Suffolk puffs any size you want, and remember, you don't need a template or a gadget to do these. You really don't. You just head to the kitchen cupboard and pull out grandmother's sherry glasses, the champagne flutes, the shot glasses, no judging here, the scone cutters, whatever you can find with different size circles to use to cut your circle templates from. And of course, if you get down to smaller ones, you can use some of your larger cotton reels as well. And I do love a standard superior thread cotton reel size Suffolk puff. You can't beat it. It's a good size. And then to take them down to our cherry blossoms from there is also really good. So I pull up as I go. I'm nearly there. You've got to pull up as you go, or you'll never get it really nice and even once you get all the way around. And you've got really good little step-by-step instructions in your patterns as well for this. So you can see now I've got it all pulled up. There's my puff. But one thing that's an extra little bit to do that's really worthwhile is to go back now and just do some little tacking stitches down through those little pleats that we have created, because they will, over time, they can sort of pop up, or the puff can lose its shape. So I love just whacking just a few little tacking stitches around the edge, through the edges of the pleats. And then that little hole there stays nice and centered, it doesn't shift to one side. You can leave it just like this, or you might like to go back and pop some beads or some little colonial or French knots with pearl thread, Margaret style, in the middle. But there's our little perfect Suffolk puff ready to go. So now if I was ready and I had made up my other one, like this one here, I could just go back and slip stitch that over the end. Okay, on there. It is easier to pop them on before you stuff your cushion, but if you haven't decided what colour, my tip would be just to use a little bit of glue on the back, use that to adhere it onto the end of the cushion or the pillow, and then it will be easier to slip stitch around the edge if it's held in place. So that's one of those. I'll just come back here and give you a little close up again. Now, Suffolk puffs are just the most classic thing to do. And I have got Emma lined up to bring in her sister's wedding dress someday. It's a very precious thing, and she doesn't want it out on display in the large crowd or public, but I think we can get a private viewing for Facebook. But Emma made her sister's wedding dress out of, I don't remember how many hundreds of Suffolk puffs, and the whole dress was just Suffolk puffs in silk organza in varying colours. So we will get our hands on it so I can show it to you. I thought about it again today, so we'll get it. Maybe it will be on display in the shop shed. Who knows? We might be able to organise that. All right, Corinne, good evening. Welcome. Gail, good evening. Deb's here. You do like that idea. That's good. Heather says, I still use that method. Oh, yes, well, been doing it for a very long time, Heather, but I haven't found a better one yet, so I'm sticking with it. Yes, I did know that some of them have been recalled, Wendy, but the birch ones that I've had are fine, and I did check that with them because we didn't get a notification from them. So I did give them a call and they said, no, they're not ours. But thank you very much for letting us know. So if you've got a small iron, depending on the brand of things, you might just want to do a little bit of a Google and check for the recall on them. But I know these guys are okay. I need the little on the top of the iron. I don't know that we can get them, Sharon. I will investigate, but I'm pretty sure it's a one-off package. But we shall see for you. All right. So please have lots and lots of fun with your peanuts, with your relaxation pillows. I'm sure you will. I feel like doing the footy thing. I'm going to pop that over there because that is definitely going to get used now that I have shown it to you again. Crazy patchwork, anything. Have a lot of fun making them. And I think what's really nice, it's a personal gift. It's a personal, practical gift. I'm putting that thimble in my pocket so I know where it is. It's a personal, practical gift, but you can also really customize it to the person that you're giving it to with very little effort. So I hope you have a go. Now the other thing, I'm not even going to take a breath, we're going to keep going tonight, is I want to just do this other, I know I had a hook here somewhere. Yep. There. I love this wall. I want to do the back pocket for our Look at Me bag. And then we'll be all set to go again next week. So we did this one the other day, which I've got here underneath. So this is one we've done. So that's on the last show. That goes there. We've got our little pin tuck ready to go. That's going to go there. And then we took that step, that big step, and we cut down Margaret Stitchery to go here. All right, so that's ready. And then we've also got our green trim ready to go across the bottom. So next show I'll have these panels all together, and then we can do the next step and we can talk about the applique on the black and gold limited edition one as well. What is that? Oh, that's silk organza. Okay, I thought I don't have hair that long, but it's a fibre of the silk organza. Right, so with this one, it's the same technique as what we did the other day, but now we've got two zips going on. So, can you see that? I've got two in the middle. So I'm going to show you, I'm going to take them off and just give you a little tip on that. And then that's going to go up there, as we did last time. And we've got our lining for our pocket that will go at the back. And then this is that piece that's called the concealed panel that sits behind the whole bit at the bottom. I'm not really getting this together in my heel. That goes there. And that will actually be here, so that when we open our pocket, there's a whole piece behind, because you need a backing or a lining to your pocket, and then you need this concealed panel as well. So we'll pop that together. Just before I do that, because I don't want to forget, something I discovered today with great dismay was that, do you remember a few weeks ago when we got stuck in, or kind of a couple of weeks ago, we got stuck into doing the zips, and this was the method, I should say, that we used for these little set in zip tabs. So that's all set in there nicely in there, and Lisa had a little fade out moment even on the second one, but finally worked out how to get this in. So we did a first one, and I didn't leave these that long, and it came up together quite well, but it was a little bit of a struggle to get around these corners because these tabs were short. So when I did this one, I left them longer, and that made it a lot easier because it opens up further to get right round. And if you go back and have a look, remember we did our little mesh pockets in here also. So that's that little bag done. And then I think on the night we sold about 2 meters or so of this gorgeous fabric. And I was looking at it today thinking, why doesn't anyone like it? I thought it was great and it was really good fun for bags and everything. So I went in and had a look, and I'm not sure what happened, but it was offline, it wasn't even online. So we've pushed the wrong button somewhere, and so you couldn't even get to it. So I thought, I'll do the right thing, I'll let you know it's up online, and I marked it down, and I will find the person that bought I'm sure one person bought 2 meters. And I will give them a little discount too, because that's just not fair. So it's, oh, I'm dropping things now. It's this gorgeous thing. You couldn't even get to it. So it's called Mystic Leaves. And it is multifaceted, multicolored, digitally printed, and it's absolutely beautiful for doing this sort of little purses or a big bag or a relaxation pillow. All of that would be really good. So, and we made up the purse with the teal zip, so you can see how amazing they look together. You'll want to match it. You'll want to match it up with any of our rainbow pulls. So I'm going to sit that there. So we've got a few. There's lots of different rainbow ones. There's straight, there's teardrop. I'll put that little puff over there. They're our gorgeous little rainbow coloured ones. So we sell our zips by the metre, and 3 pulls is going to give you 3 purses, because you can cut down this into 3 pieces and you get 3 little pulls. We very often get asked if we can supply our zips in continuous lengths. It just depends on which one it is. Most of the time we can do a 2 metre length, because that's how we sell it to our wholesale customers, to other stores. But at the moment, the latest colours that we've brought in, so the black and white zebra, the pale grey, the black grey that we're putting into limited edition kits that have got the antique brass, the olive, all of those. Steve and I actually haven't had time to cut them down into lengths that save us time when we're packing orders. So if you do order 2 metres of zip, you will get it in a continuous length. If you order 3 metres, you'll get it in 3. So it just depends on which one, but you can always request to have it, if you're ordering 2, to have it in the 2 lengths. In 1 length if you want to, and we will do our absolute best to do that for you. But can you just see how cool this looks up against that? And then, because we had the teal, and it still is on special, I did get asked a few times, what's the best solid colour to go with all of this? And I think this is the best one. So this is Sea Glass, and I've tagged it for tonight. So this is Sea Glass Petite. Colourworks. And look at that. Just a little bit of joy. And this is beautiful colour also with this fabric. So to me, that's a really, really good match. This is just slightly darker, but it just looks beautiful with it, and it also goes with the fabric. So just so you know, that's a really nice little combo that should have been there a couple of weeks ago. It just went to sleep for a while. So I'll pop that back over there. The other things that I've tagged up tonight as well are all very, you can see, very teal themed on the stand. So because I wanted to put this up again tonight and play with the stripe, you've got, oh yeah, sorry, the main thing, Sea Glass is in the building. We waited forever for it. So we bought everything that came in through our distributor, and I love this colour with Under the Australian Sun. So if I do that, you can see it looks really, really good. It's a beautiful match in terms of a lighter shade to go with the big Waratahs and also with the stripe. If you want to keep that theme, it goes with the same teal that's in our mint coloured gum leaves. So that's really, really, really nice together. And we did have a lot. We sold it out and it took a while to get it back in, but it's back. So that's good. And then the other thing that goes with the stripe and everything, of course, are our Friends of Periwinkle packs. So these have got everything from the teal green through to the apple green that goes with Under the Australian Sun. This is a cut-off on Sunday night's the cut-off for these. And when I say that, at the moment, we are packing everything that we pack to order. So we pack these in increments of 10, but we are packing off on Sunday night, and then the stock that we do have is going to Birmingham, because I've got to take this. I've got to take these with me, and I'm not sure when we'll get time to do them again between moving and Birmingham and a soiree. So if you do want one, it's fine to grab one. We will cut on Monday to fill the orders that we've got and the stock we need for Birmingham, and then that will be it for a little while. So if you do want one of those, please grab it. Remember we did these to go with, well, that's just ridiculous. That even goes. We did these to go with the new Periwinkle Melba fans. This is the weirdest pack because it goes, it goes with everything. We only did it to go with one purple and it goes with everything. The other thing too, and we'll get on and do this pocket, is that, where did that come from? I noticed this tonight. Now we do not claim to be a Liberty cotton store, and we have had lots of Liberties in the past, and it was really, really good fun, but it's just not on my radar at the moment. I expect to go back there to Cotton Liberties once I'm in permanently, sort of in the country. You can sort of feel that there'll be some of that pretty Liberty style influence when we get out in the garden and things. It's bound to happen. I'm already seeing myself edging towards doing some stuff with roses and things, and it just, you can't not do that. So how much backing do you need for Be Mindful Quilt? 3.5 meters, Denise. So that will happen, but in the meantime we don't need to have the Liberties, the Wiltshires in stock, except for the ones that go with Midnight Melba coming up. So there are a couple of others that are still on sale. Now this beautiful dark teal, which is called Jade, marked it up tonight. Look, it goes. It is fantastic with the pink teal under the Australian sun. It goes with the sea glass Toscana. It goes with the leaves. It goes with the stripe. It goes with all of it. So this is a really good buy, and it's down to, I think, $16 a metre. You buy in 25 centimetre increments. Liberty's now up at 30. So please keep that in mind when you're having a look tonight. And while not on special, while not on special, Shimmer Radiance colour 63 also is beautiful with this, and it is in that Friends of Periwinkle pack. Celadon is back in stock. Juno is back in stock. So, you know, some of our main Hoffman Batiks are back. A lot of people are waiting for Juno and Celadon. They are back. We've also got St. Patty's in. These are at full price. They're not at a discount price, but they're our main sellers. Two that are still at the half price though, in my Tally Sally mode. I've got about 3 meters left of Ruby. That's a winner. Oh, you can't really see that, can you? You have to trust me on this. This is a beautiful dark, rich burgundy pink red that would work really, really well as a sashing with both the pink and teal under the Australian sun and Melba. Oh, there goes Sea Mist. I hold, you see that now, you can see it. So this comes in here to this colour, and this is half price. Alright, and so is Sea Mist that just hit the floor. That goes as well, and that will pull up if you like mixing your batiks with other things. So this is Sea Mist, and that's half price as well. And then, as I said, I'm about done with cutting batiks, so the rest will get bundled up, and then we're moving on to the Northcote batiks, and we'll be keeping just our main players in Hoffman that we can't live without for now, which you'll see on the website as well. Right, so I'll pop those back up there. So it's just some species for you that you might like to look at. See, this is a 2 metre length. What else? Oh, Glass Fairy Frost. I just put it there as well because I love using it with these, and I took a little bit off that one tonight for you as well. So that's under Moving as the search word, or under the banner until Sunday night. Right, let's put these over here. And those. And let's get back to this. Alright, so if you remember the other night, or the other afternoon, I apologise, we got this little ensemble here together. I still need to come back and top stitch this on here too. With the back one though, we actually have 2 zips and they do this. So you will see in the instructions for your pattern that it tells you to pop the both on, and you want them mirror imaged. So if you can see here with this one, my 2 little roundy bits are facing each other. Now, to get them mirror imaged, if you remember the other night as well, when you put them on the end, I actually suggested to you what I told you, you'd have to put the rounded end. The rounded end has to be the one that you present to the 2 ends to get it on. So what that means is you can't feed one on and then the other one straight after. And so you're going to have to pay a little bit more attention and just take a little bit more time to avoid getting a bunch up here in the middle. You want these guys to come in flush. If you don't get these ends here even together when you pop it through, one of these is going to buckle a little bit. So just a little bit more care is needed to do that. Does the Simona also go with the pink and teal? Jill, it's probably a little bit dark. It's you know what it is, it's sort of like M13 in shadow play. It's quite dark with it and it's a little bit on the purple side, so I didn't bring that out to show you because I didn't, don't get me wrong, it's a gorgeous fabric, but it's probably going a little bit towards more purpley burgundy, so I would say probably not, if I'm going to be brutally honest, probably not. Real good. I can't believe I'm saying this. We need a yellow as opposed to a gold. Applique Essentials pack, please. I'm up for the challenge, I think. So a yellow pack? Sure. Sure. Where am I going to write that down? I'm up for the challenge, Jill. Because we've got, what have we got yellow in? So there's some yellow in the golds and then there's yellow in the rainbow pack. Hang on, I'm going to write it on the back of this yellow app. There's quite a few new ones that we've got planning at the moment and they're not so much tonal, they're sort of collections. So, but I will, noted, we do need one. There's a couple of other bits of the colourway that I think we've missed as well. So I've got to have a look. Okay, so my suggestion is get one of them on. This is 17 inches long this time. Get one on and bring it up close to this end. You're sort of tempted to leave it in the middle because that's where it's going to be, but bring it all the way up to the end here and have a look at your 2 ends. So can you just see, I've got a couple, I'm out by a couple of teeth. When I look at that, this side's just a little bit longer. So what I'm going to do is just hold them together, get my scissors and just trim off a little bit so that they literally a tooth at a time to get those as even as possible on the end. Then I'll come back through with this one and I'll keep this up here. I don't want it too far down the end because I like to see that that's going to sit nice and snug together. And then we'll pop one in and I'll just take a little bit more care than what we usually do when we can just come back and trim off. And I want to make sure I'll sit that one there and sit that one in there. And kind of make sure they're both sitting pretty even and then pull that on. And they're not. One more go. I should have just left it and told you to do it, shouldn't I? Because I had it pretty good before. Okay, that's better. See how they're both sitting straight at the end? So now when I pull that down, that's sitting much better. So it might take you a couple of goes, but you want those sitting as nice and even and flush together in the middle like that. And then we can go through this whole process of putting our pocket together. So it goes. Oh, you know I have to read the pattern. You know my phobia with zips. No laughing, Judy V. Just no laughing. Okay, we're doing the same thing again. Zip right side up. This right side down. Over the top. No, 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 no. This up. I'm getting there, I'm getting there, I'm getting there, I'm getting there. So that's going to go down. Okay, like that. Pegs, where are my pegs? So the first bit that we're doing, or the first process through to sew, is our front of our pocket and its lining. So put you boys down there a little bit further. Okay, and if you remember what I said the other day, I like to just build it up. So I will still peg this first and then I'll flip it. Just make sure I've got that right. And then I'll come through and put this on the other side. And I can't go all the way down because at some point I need to take my 2 zip pulls and get them up out of the way as we go. So now I can take it over to the sewing machine. I will pop on my zipper foot. So this is the bit where I just remind you all, if you've got a differential feed machine or you've got wide feed dogs and you've had your straight stitch plate on, please tell me that you told your machine you had it on. So now it will not let you move that needle left or right until you've switched over to your normal plate, because otherwise, that goes for all of you, you will bring that needle down on your foot plate or on your foot and you will break your needle and there'll be tears. What can I say? We would like a we would like a zip foot, please. Thank you. Okay, that's done. So I've had to tell my machine which foot that I have got on, and then it will let me move my needle all the way across. So this is where we decide how much do we want to see of our zip. And the other day I think, I didn't write it down. It was a 4, wasn't it? I went 4. I did go 4, and I'm sitting my foot right against the edge. And I think we're good to go. So that zip is just sandwiched in between. Oh, look what I did. See, it's getting late. Didn't put the differential feed on. That's better. And somewhere down here on my zip pulls, we're getting close. Alright, so I'll lift my foot up. We'll just take that peg out. And then I'll get my 2 little zip pulls and we'll push them up past the needle so they're up out of the way. We should get Judy Vermeulen in to do zip classes because she makes the most amazing bags, and I think we could all learn a lot from Judy. Okay. Finish that off. Alright, let's go and have a look. It's ruby. It's ruby, Maria. So you can see how that's going to look there. So we'll give it a quick press, just a quick one. It's getting late. So we'll pop this in here. And remember what I said, I really, really want you to just take your time and come back and do a really nice top stitch along there. Just, you know, if you find it really hard to stay close to the edge, I'll quickly show you with my zipper foot what I mean. If you find it hard to stay close to the edge, don't. Just line your foot up wherever you can with something that's easy to follow, the edge of fabric or something, and move your needle across. You don't have to move your fabric under your foot. Just keep your foot where it's easy to follow a line and then move your needle. Let me show you what I mean. So even with I could even do this if I wanted with my zipper foot. So if I come back under here now and I'll just put my foot down. Now it's going to make me go all the way across, but I can, and I can bring my needle down now even with my zipper foot. Actually, you know what? The zip foot's really cool because it still allows me to get up really nice and close to those zip teeth. So if I come down now and make sure that my foot of my zipper, the foot is sitting flush up against the zip teeth, and I can just have a little play. Wow, that is so close. Might take that one back. Well, no, it won't let me sew that one. Okay, so let me just, oh yeah, that's good. Okay, so I've got the foot sitting right up against the teeth on here. I could probably have the camera at a much better angle for you up behind the machine for this, but I'm going to do that now. So just like before, I'm going to have to lift up my foot and move these out of the way. Go. Alright, so I'll take this back across and show you. So, just wait for that camera. See that? See how close it is? So that is just achievable because by using the foot as the guide, you've got so much better control. Use the foot as the guide and move your needle position across. Alright, so with this particular pocket now, you do have the option of doing, well, we've got to do the other bit of it, but you've got the option of doing a divide down through the middle, and I would really recommend that because it's quite a wide pocket. So it's actually a line right down through there. So when we do this, we've actually got two different sides and two different, partitions in this big pocket. So I would put the whole thing together first, of course, because you want that divide line to go down through your concealed panel at the back as well. Just put that across. Now, I'm just going to sit these on here because we did this the other night. It's exactly the same method. It's just you've got a wider pocket. So let me put the overhead on for you. So now what's going to happen is you're going to come back and do the same thing again. You'll pop your top of your back panel on there, and then behind you're going to sandwich it together with this concealed pocket piece, just like we did the other day. All right, and then when you've actually done this sandwich and sewn straight across, you only turn this piece up, and then you can top stitch through that, because this piece that you can see sticking out down the bottom stays there because it's actually concealed and it's going to sit at the back of the pocket. So when you look at this one on here, when I open this up, see the black there? That's actually what that mint green underneath is going to be. And the same happened with the front pocket that we did. So that's this one here. So when you open that up, oh look, I still haven't tacked these ends. I have to be so careful that the zip pull doesn't go off the edge. So the same here, that's that concealed bit at the back, so it doesn't get flipped up, it gets left down, and I'll come back and top stitch these over. So then they'll be together. I'll do this little petition line down through here, and then I'll have all of the elements ready to construct the bag, ready for when I see you next week. And then we'll touch on the applique detail in the other panel. So instead of where we've got Margaret Stitchery on this one, we're going to have our applique gum leaves that I showed you the other day. So we'll talk just a quick little bit about machine applique and things when we do those as well. And I am going to do them with metallic thread. So that's another thing we can chat about, like we talked about at the start of the show with the bottom line. So we'll do that next time. So there you go. That's it for this evening. Did I miss anything? Is everyone all right? Good evening, Robin. Hello, Jill. Hello, Jan. Got to go by. Yeah, me too, Yvonne. Thank you very much for watching. Denise Classen. Jane, Christine, thanks everybody. Hope you had a really good night. I hope you had a really good week so far. I hope you have a fantastic Friday. I'll be at Bunnings in the morning. Did you want to know? Yes, to do the floor. And if you're in a Quilter's Life, you'll get updates. I will film a lot of stuff and everything for you. Rob and I are going down. Philip's minding chickens and cats. He's going to stay for the weekend here so that we can go down and do a lot of work and stay down at the new place. And I promise I'll try and get all of your orders out before I go if you have not ordered the new bag. So, you know, if you haven't seen a notification come through and you know your order's out there, you know I'll combine them for you. I'll keep looking and combine them and save you a truckload in postage if I can. So have a fabulous Friday. Have a fantastic weekend. Watch out for updates and things on Facebook and in A Quilter's Life and on Instagram, won't you? There's Chandler's Cottage and there's also Lisa Chandler Designs. So I'm firing up both again because Lisa Chandler Designs is sort of more of the more creative stuff, if you like design stuff, and Chandler's Cottage is more about the actual new property, what we sell and what we do at Chandler's Cottage. So there's two to watch out for. All right. Thank you very much. Love you all. And I shall see you early next week. And I don't know which day, but I'll let you know as soon as I can. All right. Bye.